and most importantly, leaders who are ready to put America first. Like Vivek Ramaswamy in Ohio. In his vision, the city of Columbus will become an economic hub that will fuel progress and turn the Rust Belt into the Platinum Belt. And Byron Donalds in Florida, with the full backing of President Trump, has vowed to restore common sense in education and give our kids the tools they need to thrive. If successful, these plans could become a model to follow across our nation. This next generation of Republican leadership is integral to success not only for this administration, but for years to come. While I know we're all still celebrating President Trump's huge landslide victory last November, we can't take our eye off the prize. The time to ensure we have many more celebrations in the future is right now. It's time to get back to work. And we start tonight in Ohio, where Vivek Ramaswamy is focused on restoring states' rights by 2026, when he hopes to be elected. Vivek says he will be joining the Trump administration's momentum towards greatness for our nation, with some big plans for the Buckeye State, especially where we visited in Columbus. Watch. Vivek, I don't think I have to introduce you to anyone. You were born and raised here in Ohio. And obviously, we know you ran for president of the United States. Then you helped campaign for Donald Trump to become the 47th president. Now we're back here in Ohio right now because you're running for governor. And that kind of feels full circle to me.
It does. It's a new chapter. And one of the things I learned last couple of years, Lara, when I ran for president, and even in supporting President Trump after, is it opened my eyes to the fact that a lot of the issues that I cared most about, particularly reform in education and a couple of other areas, shouldn't be dealt with by the federal government. We don't need that in Washington, D.C. And President Trump, you see it even this last week, is moving a lot of that down to the states and to the people where those programs belong. And so it became clear to me that if I wanted to push those issues to the next stage, there was probably no better place for me to do it than as governor right here in my home state.
You have the Republican Party who, as you kind of just noted, brought in so many new voters, young voters, voters who were first time ever voting in their lives, some first time Republican voters. And I don't know if the Democrats know where they are in the grand scheme of things.
I think they don't. I think they're lost in the wilderness. And just speaking as an American, I hope they come out with a coherent vision, even if it's one that you and I may disagree with. Let them stand for something, because that'll allow us all to be the best version of ourselves. The Republican Party, on the other hand, it's a beautiful thing going on. On one hand, we have a big tent coalition of libertarians, previously orphaned Reagan Democrats, independents, constitutional conservatives. The MAGA party is now so broad that it actually allows for even differences of opinion on the small issues while still being united on the big issues of border security, of free speech and open debate, of economic growth, of belief in American exceptionalism. That's not just a formula for uniting the Republican Party. That's a formula for uniting the entire country around the ideals that the country was founded on in the first place.
I think something a lot of people are excited about, DOGE, something you started working on with Elon, several months ago. Give me your assessment of things, because I think so many people, Vivek, are shocked by what they're seeing happen, by the things that are being uncovered.
I mean, sadly, I'm not surprised, but what I am pleasantly surprised by is how united people across the country are against this waste, fraud, and abuse at the level of our government. I thought President Trump did an outstanding job in his joint address, just laying out hard facts of where U.S. taxpayer money has gone. This first step of at least letting sunlight be a disinfectant, of actually getting that bureaucracy out of the way, that's a requirement to revive our economy, to fight our national debt. And I would even say to revive our core American spirit, which is not a bureaucratic one at its core.
So whenever you left DOGE, there were a lot of people speculating, why is Vivek leaving? What's going on? You're now announcing, of course, you are running for governor.
Yeah.
Is that the reason you left?
Well, a lot of my opponents, including on the left, like to push a lot of narratives. I don't think there's much needed to clarify. I was grateful on day one to get both President Trump's endorsement and Elon's endorsement. Elon and I have been friends for years. The fact of the matter is every one of us has to look ourselves in the mirror and say, where are we going to have our biggest possible impact? So my plan had always been to run for governor. One of the ways that President Trump is going to be successful is to take a lot of those programs that should have never been in Washington, D.C. and kick them down to the states. That's the great first step to saving the country. But there's a second step then involved too. which it requires strong governors who share that same outlook to be able to do the right thing with each of those programs, from education to healthcare. The center of gravity then of saving the country will move in the next 2 years from the federal government, where Donald Trump is doing an outstanding job right now, back down to the states and to the people where it belongs. And I want to say a word about my home state here. I was born in Cincinnati, about an hour and a half from where we are in Columbus today. I don't just want to lead Ohio to be one of the better states in the Midwest, which admittedly is what it is today. I want to lead Ohio to be the best state in the country to grow a new business, to raise a young family, both of which are near and dear to my heart. I'm an entrepreneur who's raising young kids. I want this to be the best state in the country to do that. And there are just so many basic, relatively simple fixes that would allow a state like Ohio to be that state again.